Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my step-by-step process in doing Gel X and this design. Let's get into it. So first we're going to go in and we're going to prep the natural nail. So you're going to need like a medium sanding band. I don't really recommend fine because I feel like they don't do as good as a medium grit sanding band. So you're going to go in. The only reason I'm using a little bit more pressure on her right now is because she had a little bit of product still on her nails. But if your client comes in with clean natural nails, please make sure you're not putting that much pressure. Have it on maybe like 3 to 5 RPMs, somewhere in that range to where you could put the sanding band on your skin and it does not hurt. So yeah, we're just going in and removing the shine. That's all that you're doing. I also don't ever really push back my clients' cuticles. I use the sanding band for that because you can lightly go into the cuticle area and remove any cuticle that's there. But please, if you're not super experienced, do use a cuticle pusher very, very lightly. Some people require a cuticle pusher, some people don't, but majority, I really don't use it. But anyway, the sanding band does not need to go past the 3 to I would say you could go up to 8 if your client has product on it like mine does, but I don't even go that high. I just keep it very low because you can easily burn your client. You can easily cause damage to their nail, and you do not want to do that. So just keep it light, keep it feathery with the sanding band. You can also go in like I'm doing here and remove a little bit of the free edge. She didn't have much room for me to really go in and clip it, but she had a little bit of dead skin and cuticle there, and you can just kind of go around the edge with your sanding band. It does make things a little bit quicker since you're already in there and you're already filing the nail. You can just do your free edge at the same time. So yeah, this one was a little bit tough for me because she had a little bit, I think it was clear top coat. I honestly could have just used acetone to remove it, but I was already in it before I realized. Okay, now we're going in with this cute little cuticle bit that I got off Amazon. I'll have to find the link and link it below. But anyway, this is perfect for getting underneath the cuticle and getting out all the other dead skin that the sanding band can't really get to. So this is like a detailed E-file drill bit that you use to just take off all that dead skin. It's so satisfying. I love it. Super easy to work with, and it just gets all in the grooves. It gets everything out. So I think it comes in a pack. So I don't think I bought this just by itself. I think it comes in a whole cuticle bit set. So yeah, I'll have to find it. It's pretty cheap on Amazon. Now I'm just going in and dusting off her nails, making sure there's no more dust on her hands or anything that's going to get into the gel. And I also take my manicure brush with some isopropyl alcohol just to dehydrate her nails. You can use a dehydrator in a bottle. You can use acetone. I personally use 99% alcohol that I get from my nail supply store in this huge gallon. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to catch my breath. I usually don't talk this much. Okay, so now I'm going in with these 3XL Gel X tips. They are not already pre-prepped, but I did get these off of Amazon. So I'm just going in and picking her sizes, sizing her nails up, making sure that they're the right fit. These actually were the perfect shape for her nails. But if you come across someone and their nails don't really fit, you can go in and file the tips. And this is my favorite thing. I use Gelish foundation for everything. This has actually been my number one secret to keeping acrylic lasting. I use this instead of a regular primer, and I swear to God, it holds up so well. But I'm just prepping her nails with this right now as the foundation, the base layer, before I put on the tips. But anyway, these tips are great. They're pretty thick. I've used them on her before and they last pretty good. So I just cure that in the lamp for 60 to 90 seconds. Remember, 90 seconds is your low heat setting, which I do recommend using when you're using gel because sometimes there can be heat spikes, especially if the client's nails are damaged or whatever. So now I'm going in with a little prepping tool just to etch the inside of my tips because they are shiny, and if you don't do this, they're just gonna pop right off probably the next day or two or right after they leave. And then I also go around the bottom. Hold on, let me get back to it. So basically, okay, I'm prepping the inside, and then this part. I go in and I etch the bottom just to kind of thin it out so it's more flush to the cuticle whenever you apply it. So now I'm going in with the same gelish foundation, and I put it inside the tip, a little blob of gel, and this is what you're going to use to adhere your tip with. So like I told y'all, I use this gelish foundation for everything. I love it. Also, this lamp, I got it from, well, it's actually just like a single gooseneck light. I got it off of Amazon. I can link it below, but it is only an LED light. It's not LED and UV, it's just LED. But basically with these tips, once you apply it, you need to make sure that you're just rocking the tip onto the nail. You don't want to just place it on there like you would a press-on, like a press-on nail. You're going to have to start from the cuticle and like pull the product to the front, to like the free edge of the nail. So that's why you have to make sure that you are putting the right amount of gel. Sometimes I still put a little bit too much and it kind of runs over, but honestly, it's okay. You can always go under there and file it if you need to. So it's not that big of a deal if you do that. But I paint the inside of the nail first with a thin layer of gel, and then put the little blob at the bottom. But you see how I rocked it on. I started from the cuticle and slowly pull the gel to the front because you want to make sure there's no air bubbles because that can cause premature lifting in the Gel-X tips. So just make sure that you're rocking it, pulling gel to the front very easily, slowly. And then once you cure it, you're going to kind of, this light is really, really strong and it can cause heat spikes. So the reason I'm kind of pushing it in the light, pulling it out of the light, is so that there is no heat spikes. So basically I count to like 3 or 4 when I'm holding it in the light and then pull it away for 3 seconds, put it in the light. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, pull it out. That's basically what I do just so that it doesn't cause heat spikes. I've noticed that that helps a lot. So that's a big tip for you. So yeah, you see I'm like holding it in the light and then I'll pull it away, put it in the light, pull it away. I promise it works. It's amazing. It keeps the nail from burning because y'all, that's one thing about gel is it will have some heat spikes. If you've ever felt it, you know what I'm talking about. It is horrible. It is so painful. It feels like your nail is on fire. So inflicting pain onto my clients is something that I really try not to do because not everyone is cool with that, okay? I've done it to myself. It hurts really, really bad. So now I'm doing the thumb. I did have a tiny little air bubble in this thumb, which did kind of make me mad, but it was so small. It's okay. You just don't want big air pockets. Like, if it would have been a big air pocket, I would have had to like pull that thing away really fast and redo it. So now I'm going in with my tip cutters and I'm just sizing everything down to like a long length. On her, I would say this is about long because she usually does extra long, but we went with more of a long just because she's doing graduation photos. And, excuse me, I'm sorry. I had a little frog in my throat. But she was doing graduation photos, so she wanted to keep this set kind of classy and simple. So we didn't do as long as we normally do, which is fine because I think this length fits her pretty well. And these tips are a C-curve too, which also adds extra strength to the Gel-X because Gel-X tips are a lot thinner than acrylic, but honestly, they are super strong. And now I'm going in and I'm just filing and perfecting the shape. We're doing square, so I don't really have to file that much on the sides, but I just file lightly just to kind of meet the tip with the side walls of the nail. And I just file the edge sharply, and I always hold my file down on the tip. I file down instead of side to side because this makes a very crisp, clean, square tip and it gives you sharp edges. I love filing like this. I would never do it a different way. And then with acrylic, I usually turn their hand around to where I like have client view and file the top, because that works really well too. But this is not an acrylic video, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just a good way to file. If you're not filing this, you definitely should. But anyway, back to the strength about Gel X. My theory is they make gel tips flexible. So the tips are flexible, which in my opinion, when you hit your nail or bump it onto something, it takes the pressure of the hitting a lot better than acrylic, because it's bending with the hit. It's not like just breaking off like acrylic does, because it's plastic, and it's not plastic, but it's basically hard like plastic. So when you hit it, it'll just break in half. But with the gel, it just kind of bends with the hit, if that makes sense, because gel is flexible. So yeah, that's kind of my theory on why these Gel X nails have really been lasting so much longer. Okay, anyway, now I am going in with my 5-in-1 bit. I love this bit. It is amazing for taking the nails down. It's good for this right here, which I'm just going around the cuticle, the edges where the gel tip is sticking up, where you can see kind of what it looks like when you put on a press on, and like you can kind of see the edges, like that's not really like attached to your nail, you know what I mean? So this just goes in and smooths and just makes the nail tip seamless to your nail. Like it looks so flush and so natural. It's amazing. Please do not skip this step if you do Gel X. Don't skip it unless you really thin out those edges before you put them on. But in my opinion, I feel like you're still going to see some type of seam. So this just goes in and just cleans that up so nicely, so pretty. And you're going to want to make sure that you're only filing the tip. This is something you need to be careful with. Make sure you're not hitting the skin, because this tip it's not really a safety bit like, you know, the safety bits with the domes. These are sharp. They can cut people, so please make sure that you're being careful. And if you don't want to use this bit, you can use a sanding band. It works, but it's just not as quick, in my opinion. It's not as quick, and the sanding band leaves kind of like a rough area around the cuticle part of the nail, but this makes it really super smooth. So whenever you buff, you don't really have to buff too much in the cuticle area. You can just buff the surface of the nail. But yeah, get you a 5-in-1 bit. It is great for so many things. It's amazing. I get these at my nail supply store, so I can't really link them, but you can buy them off of Amazon. You can just look up a 5-in-1 bit, and they have like purple ones, different ones that you can look at. But now I'm just going in and buffing the nails so that I'm removing all the shine. Sorry, y'all, that was my chair. It was really, really loud. But I'm going in and just removing the shine just to make sure that the gel sticks to it properly, because if you don't do this, the gel could definitely lift and kind of like pull away from the tip, because it's just has that really smooth, shiny finish to it. So just like when you put a no wipe top coat on top of a no wipe top coat, it's gonna just peel right off. There's no type of adhesion to it. So now I'm just going in and dusting off all the dust, making sure I get underneath, making sure I get her hands, and then I'm just going in with my brush again. It is dry because the alcohol can sometimes cause white spots to the clear tip, so I just kind of dry dust and get all the dust out of her cuticles. Now I'm just cleaning up my gross, disgusting, stained up desk that I've had forever. I really wish I would have put a cover on it. Anyway, now I'm just trying to find her right color, because I got a few new gel polishes and I wanted to see which one would look best. This one was pretty, but I think it was a little too pink for the look that we're going for. The second one, the one that I'm doing now, well, the second one, I think looks the best. The third one was a little too sheer pink, almost kind of white. So I ended up wiping those two off, and I went with the middle color because I think it just went really well with her skin tone, and it ended up looking really pretty with the look that we're doing. I got this gel polish from my nail supply store too. but I'm sure you can find them on the website. I just find that they're a lot cheaper in nail supply stores. This is Creation. Yeah, Creation gel polishes. I'm actually not even sure how much I paid for these because I went to look at my receipt and they weren't on there. So I'm thinking they forgot to ring them up and just put them in my bag, which is fine. It was a little gift for me. But this is actually the third coat. I skipped doing the second coat. I showed the first one and I ended up doing 3 coats of this color because we needed to. I didn't really want to see her nail underneath a lot. So now we're going in with like a classic V French, like a really deep. I just use a striper brush. This one is from Beetles on Amazon, I believe. It came in like a pack of striper brushes. And I'm just using a thick white gel polish. It's actually from Creation too. It's their super white Creation gel polish. And I just go in and hand paint this. There's really no one way to painting a French tip or a V French tip. You can kind of do it however you want, but I always start with lining the edges of the nail just to make sure that I'm getting everything, and I kind of have like a little cutout of how I'm going to be filling it in. And this is really not hard to it's not easy to mess this look up. Just make sure that the V is in the center of the nail. You don't want to have it crooked because you're definitely going to be able to tell if it's crooked. So I really do take my time with this, which is why I had to I only showed you how I do one in real time, because we would have been sitting here for a very long time if I let you watch me paint every single nail in real time. It takes a while. I take my time doing this, even with French tips, because I'm very much so a perfectionist when it comes to my hand-painted art. Anything detailed like this, I make sure that it looks right, because guess what? Anyone who sees her nails or any of my clients' nails, they're going to know it was me, because I'm not a salon. I don't have 20 people working for me and they're like, oh, it was Love Nails that fucked up my nails. No, it was just me. So I do my best to make sure that my nails look of high quality, because I have been doing this for 4 years. I started doing nails in 2019. I started on myself, and it just kind of went from there. I went to school and decided to learn really how to do this, and I took it seriously. 2019, I went to school, graduated 6 months later in 2020, right when COVID hit, which was amazing. But fortunately, I was able to get a spot in a barbershop, and I did nails out of a barbershop for a year. And then I ended up getting my own salon. I rent it. I don't own it because it's in retail spaces, but that's what I did. And I've been here for almost 2 years now. So, I guess it's been about 3.5. It's going on 4 years, but really 3.5. But it's been hard. It's been a very long journey. Oh, let me look down at the screen, y'all. I'm talking about my whole life. Anyway, I'm going in with a silver glitter, and I'm just lining the trim with the silver. It just pulled it together. It made it look so pretty. So yeah, I'm just going in with my same little liner brush. And y'all, this glitter I made myself. It's actually silver chrome and base coat. So if you ever need a really good fine glitter, just take your chrome powder and mix it with a little bit of base coat. When I tell you, this is the best hack ever. It is amazing. You will not regret it. You will thank me, because you only need the tiniest bit of chrome powder for this to look amazing, okay? So now I'm going in with a no wipe top coat and just topping everything off, making everything look amazing. Look how good these look. Okay, they look like a set of acrylics, because how these tips are set up, they give you structure on your nail, so it's not super flat. Not all of my Gel-X tips are like this, but these happen to be like that. And I really didn't notice it until this set that I did. I was like, wow, this actually looks really, really good. There's structure to them. They're not just flat. They are straight though, which is fine. She doesn't mind her nails being that way. But anyway, yeah, this top coat is just a refill. It's honestly, I don't even know what brand this top coat is. I just bought a big bottle of it. I think it's Creation. It might be Creation's no wipe top coat. Anyway, I use a lot of creation stuff. I'm just not realizing that. This is a 100 grit file. I'm just going in and like filing again just to like make sure that the gel isn't all bulky and whatever. I promise this makes such a big difference. It was noticeably different. It just sharpens everything up because gel can kind of bulk up and like make the nail look a little fat, you know. Now I'm going in with cuticle oil, just making her pretty, shined up, moisturized. And I really hope you guys got something good out of this video. This is the final results. Thank you for watching, and can't wait for this journey with you guys.